It isn't a bad thing to want to know exactly who is the right one for you and if the timing is also right. In fact, it's the most sensible thing to do. Knowing that God has a time and purpose for everything on the surface of the earth and keying into the same is important in fulfilling one's purpose and destiny. This shows our total surrender to what He wants for us, and it brings us great inner peace and long-lasting blessings upon all of our endeavors and in that relationship, as He has said in His word in Psalm 37:5. Commit your ways to the Lord, trust also in Him, and He will bring it to pass. So here are the 5 signs you've met the right one at the right time God planned. 1. You just know. As a Christian, you know the basic way to hear from God is through His Word, the Bible, and through prayers. It is expedient of you as a believer to depend on the signs and instinctively understand the messages God is trying to pass across to you when it comes to finding the one, since it's a long-term relationship. Though you can't always predict or claim to know an individual based on physical appearance or outward disposition, the Holy Spirit is a great revealer, and when you ask Him to show you things concerning this person as a true child of God, He will. He will bring a confirmation to your heart that will erode any form of doubt. There must have been some signs you want in your woman or your man, and there are some spiritual measures you must have taken in order to know if such a person is for you. You don't just sit there and keep asking yourself if such a person is the right one without asking God for signs to know. Matthew 7:7 says, "Ask and it will be given you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it shall be open unto you." Going before God in prayer is one of the best and fastest ways of knowing things and receiving confirmation from Him. When you ask Him to show you signs and you begin to observe these signs, then certainly He or she is the right one for you at the right time God planned. If it's not the time God wanted yet, trust me, God will by no means give you an answer yet. He will want you to wait patiently until it's time, and if it's such an individual is the amazing one He has for you, you will just know. 2. You are both ready. It's definitely okay to take your time to thoroughly know each other deeply and get to know more about yourselves. The very fact that you're both matured and you want to be with each other so badly doesn't mean you have to jump into marriage. That's why the courtship phase is quite important to every Christian relationship. Are you two ready? Are you certain that he or she is not being dragged into the course? Has the decision always been made by you alone? Try and ask yourself these questions. If it is what you both want and you're both prepared for, have you two seen both the best and worst of yourselves and still choose each other? If they have seen the ugly parts of you, they have seen you at your worst, burdened with fear and insecurities, and yet they choose to love you through it, standing by you through difficult moments of your life. They're the one. They're staying regardless of whether you're convinced they will someday leave you, because you see your mother or father go through that same thing. They are there during the rainbow and the storm, thick and thin, and the waves of life only push you both together instead of tearing you apart. You've made up your mind that you're sticking together till the end. You've been to hell and back, but even the devil himself can't tear apart what God has ordained. You make a conscious effort to love each other daily, and everything that threatens your love or tries to come in between you causes you to cling to God and each other much more. That, my friends, is the very definition of true love, and that person is the right one. 3. They complete you. When you begin to see a part of yourself in them, you have found the one. When you look into their eyes, it's different than when you look into anyone else's eyes. You see a part of you in them. It's almost like their heart complements yours. Genesis 2:24. You can communicate with just one glance. You know and can feel their hurt even if they haven't said a word. When God says, the two shall become one, He meant it literally, and you can attest to that. You don't understand how you lived your life before you met them, and how life will be present without such by your side. You feel a little empty and void without them, and something keeps tugging at you that you need them in your life. Imagine carrying around half of your heart in your hands. You search all over the world, looking for the other half. Then you find the other half in their hands. You found your long-lost best friend, the one you never get bored having around all day, even though you've never met before, and you can't stop thinking about them. There is an intense spiritual connection, and you couldn't imagine your life without that special person. If you had to do it all over again, you would still choose them. It's a sign that that person is the right one when you feel you're not forcing things, but it all looks like a stage play that has been assigned for you two to perform. Take a keen look at the other side too, if really they feel the same way about you. If you're certain about it, then it's a good sign that's just the one and the timing is right. 4. Things begin to work out for your good. When you meet someone who has changed you for the better and not for the worst, and the investment of your energy, your time, attention, and commitment to the relationship yields results in other areas of your life, you should know you've met the right one. When you look at yourself compared to before you've met that special person, is your life still at the stage it used to be? Do you feel stronger or weaker? Do you feel more confident or more insecure? Are you falling back spiritually, or are you waxing stronger? Do you feel your relationship with God is thriving and growing? Is your relationship with the people around you better? The person God has for you will leave a mark on your life that will cause you to be a better person because you've met them. They would do anything and go any mile for you to be better. They make sacrifices to get things done for you, to help you attain that goal you so much wanted, and encourage and give you hope for the future. One way or other, things begin to work out for your good, and doors that have hitherto been closed start opening up for you. The right person will add value to your life, and things you have not been able to achieve alone become easier with them around. This is an obvious sign that God is involved in your relationship. You should go ahead and take the next step. 5. You grow deeper in love with that person. Sometimes we live in so much fear because our entire life, all we have heard is that nothing lasts forever. What is the point of falling head over heels in love if you're only going to end up broken? Love isn't something that changes with the seasons. It stays consistent. Even when you fight, even when you get on each other's nerves, you still love your significant other regardless, and it doesn't change a thing. You might have experienced some sort of premonition or gut feeling before meeting them, but what you feel with this person is beyond what you have felt or ever could feel with anyone else. The feeling doesn't change. It only evolves as time goes on. It does not lessen, it grows. When you lay your head down at night and are left with only your thoughts and God, there you will find your answer. Peace, or the absence thereof, is a great indicator of whether or not you're in God's will. God will show you, trust me, and the feeling is usually mutual. They become your peace, not your calamity. In this selfish world, where everyone is looking out for themselves, they will be there to hold you and comfort you. God is ultimately the rock, but it will feel like God is giving you the right person at the right moment for more than one reason. God knows that you need a friend. God knows that you'll need someone who would play a major role in your healing process, because things won't always be rosy. God knows you'll need an earthly companion who would bring you love, joy, and peace. Even if you have previously crossed paths, you happen to meet each other at just the right time. Your meeting is divinely orchestrated by God. He brings the right person into your life when you're ready, not when you're lonely. There is a chance you could have crossed paths before, but your spiritual eyes won't be open to that person until the time is right. And when the time is right, you will know. Finding your soulmate shouldn't be a part of a 5 or 10-year plan for you. You should allow yourself to be open to the idea of love. And when God is ready, He will bring the right person at the right time.